Alright, so this is Koth product. I start out, your demo will be doing some sort of rollout. He'll be doing this more aggressive rollout where he ends up here. Or as soon as he does the first jump and spawn, he'll go from this main area over to this right side. He should call us by doing he'll say either an aggressive rollout or a passive rollout. If he does a more passive rollout, he'll be end up right here, and you guys should be playing more defensive and waiting for them to be bought in. And if your demo does the aggressive rollout, then you guys should be prepared to walk across either side of point, whichever your team calls. Usually it's better to flood through the right side because the left side is more exposed to the flank, so that'll the meat grind you faster. At the start of your mid, depending on how their team works, if it's the first round, I would be ready for their soul to do a sack. Usually it'll be over Pride Rock, or from their rock, or it's called choke. What is this called? Pocket. Sometimes they'll do it from flank, and they'll do a jump off this wall right here, and they'll just go right into your combo. So if your demo rolls, I would start off by playing a bit more defensive and passive. Like defensive and passive are two different things, but just defensive where you're holding your ground, but you're not really feeding. And then what's gonna happen is eventually their combo will flood in through this right side, while their soldier sacks and their spies gonna be decloaking during this time, either around this corner from the basic cliff or through China most likely. Usually it's through China, and it'll either go cliff or through China. And when this happens, it's your heavy and your hit scans job. It's usually your heavy's own job because your scout might not be there, but it's your heavy and NG's job and any other hit scan who's available to take down the soldier that's in the air. It's your pyro's job to deny the spy from getting anything, and it's your demo's job to stop their combo from walking in during this. So what it would look like is that, let's say they're walking in, your demo will be locking this off, spamming it, making sure doing as much damage to their combo as possible. Your heavy, who's either on cliff or in your choke or in your pocket, along with your NG and or scout, will be focusing the soldier who's in the air, and then during this time your pyro will be behind watching for spies and denying spies that's up from here, 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 or here. That's more defensive mid. An aggressive mid would be the exact opposite what I'm saying. So your soldier could be prepared to do a sack or a bomb from usually this left side, and you're probably flooding through the point. During this time, it's usually good to have your heavy lead the charge, so your heavy can be in front of everyone, and then your demo would be behind, and then your pyro and medic would be behind your demo. If your scout can get in, your scout should be right next to your demo. While this happens, your soldier will be high bombing into where their combo is, so they can be behind rock or they can be in pocket. Usually you can go right side, on other pushes you go left side. If you get a sniper pick on mid, going left is the best thing to do because you can inch from really far away, and your demo and scout can inch for basically free because this spamming goal is really good for your demo, and your demo has a lot of vision here, so you don't need to die for it. If their sniper dies on mid, just take your combo to this side, the flank side. In this case it'd be right side for red, but just go the flank side if their sniper dies, and it'll be a quick cap for you guys. So let's say you won the mid, give full clean swipe. You can either hold on top of cliff if they full wipe, where usually you'd have your demo and then maybe your pyro watching cliff, and then you'd have the rest of your players like your soldier, scout, NG over on their flank, and your heavy up top with your medic want to be watching main. Usually you'll have to back out of this pretty early because they'll pressure one of those three sets I mentioned, and you have to back up. Just if you're doing a cliff hold or a fort hold, just remember, don't die. It's not worth it. You're the defending team, so you can try to get, if you get like one pick, if you get something you want, then just back up. If they're pressuring you, don't try to risk it. Just back up immediately. What's going to happen is they're going to be sacking into you, so meds will usually play over in this pocket. If you're a medic, I would say to not be in this pocket. You're going to want to be sitting a little bit near here, a little bit more towards cliff, because spies will also have a harder time backstabbing you, because they're going to have to, it's much easier for a spy to go up here and backstab you here, than for them to go like this, because it's awkward, and people are going to know that no one's going to be moving like that on their team. During this time, people like to double sack. Demo and soldiers like to jump over this pride rock to get to you, so they can do that. Spies will decloak and try to get you. During this time, players will be botting across point, so it's your demo's job to be stopping the players that are botting across point. Usually, the players that are botting across point during sacks will be going this flank side or left side in this case. So it's your demo's job to do that. For mini spots, minis are really annoying if you are fighting them offensively. So minis can be going here. This is probably the hardest thing to get as demo, because if I'm fighting here, it's really far away, and each of these are doing 33 damage. So I have to allocate 4 stickies to this, and that's gonna take a good 15 seconds. So if you put a mini right there, that's really good. Any other spot wrangled is really annoying. I hate minis so much, but if you put them right there, they're really good. Over here, anything aggressively on this platform to deny forward spam is good. Just make Kevin Mini up the entire game, because it'll make their demo's job a hell lot work, and it'll make his job worse, and there'll be less spam on your combo and more on the gun. So, they'll be doing sack waves if you live, then you just wait, and then eventually you'll get to a point where you have to do an Uber trade. So if you're the defensive team and you're exchanging Ubers, your demo will still be watching the point. The demo's job is just to lock off point and deny anyone that bots across point. So your demo should be getting the force, or maybe not your sniper getting the force. They should be using by the time they get, usually over here. Most of the time people will use by the time they get over there. And what happens is you just kite your medic back, and then you don't want to kite too much, because then you want to take this aggressively. I like to do this. This doesn't have to be a solo, but usually it's best to have this as a scout demo. So you'll use it on your demo, because then you can lock him off, and then he'll do a ton of damage, and then at the last 20, 30, 40% of the Uber, you can have your scout chase a lot of damage. And it's really easy to win Uber fights here. If they just bot across point, you kite. They have to use early because of the sniper sightline, and then you go back in on your demo. He'll do a ton of damage. He'll back up, then the scout will clean up the rest. If Ubers are exchanged on the flank side, that usually means that your sniper is dead. Then it's kind of the same thing. You kind of just keep kiting towards right, and you can go back into left. You can also, if you're near choke, kite back to choke, then back in. If you're defensive, you're always gonna have the better Uber unless you get forced. And if you get forced, then that's a different scenario. So let's say you're the defending team. They have an ad or full ad, and you're holding this. What you want to happen is just you want to get them when they walk in a point and start inching, you want them to get the force, and then you want to back out. That's the best thing you can do. Give them the point, but what's going to happen is now you have an Uber ad, so it doesn't matter that they got the point, you'll be able to repush it. Again, meds over here, demos usually behind the rock, spamming both sides. Heavy and or sniper can be over on this rock, your engineer will be somewhere over here in this region, your scout and soldier will be in flank. Your pyro will be in between, checking for the like 4 or 5 most common spots. Cliff, China, around this bend, using this corner, and then this one, especially you're here, this will kill your demo a lot. So either you have to have your demo be super aware, or if you have to utilize your pyro to kill this spy, then you need to watch your medic for sacks. Heavies can also play up here on Cliff, or right here. This you'll die pretty fast. This you won't. This is probably the best spot for Heavy, just like Cliff Heavy. So that's really defense. If we go offense, so if we... Okay, so if let's say you lost the mid instead of winning the mid, and it's a full wipe from your team, then what you're gonna have to have happen is if anything's forward holding, like if they're Cliff, you just spam out. If you take your demo here, he can spam everything out. This will hit them very far back, so it's really easy to clean up everything that's forward holding. Once everything is cleaned up forward held, you guys want to do sacks. You guys, it's again, much like payload, it's up to you guys how to do sacks. I can't really tell you what to do. The standard sack though is again the soldier spy demo, where your soldier and demo will jump in from like some point either through Valley or over Pride Rock. Usually the soldier does it, and your spy will get in position, and you'll just try to do a chaos play. During this time, if you guys want to do a full sack, then you have your medic stay and spawn with your scout and build, much like sixes, and everyone else can just bot across the point while your demo and soldier are flying across, and your spies going in. That's one thing you can do. That's called full sack. The reason full sacks aren't done as much is because if your demo and soldier gets like a drop or something or a bunch of kills, then the rest of your team can come in and cap. As to where if you did a full sack, you wouldn't be able to do that. Your team wouldn't be able to walk in. So usually you don't want to be doing a full sack. Just have your demo, soldier, and spy go in. Try to get a pick. Try to get as much as possible. And usually a lot of times sacks will work on product because it's a pretty choky map. So. If the sacks work, then once all of your players spawn in again, you inch point. Usually it's just the best to inch from left side. The way you play product is you play alternative to where the sniper is. So if you are on blue team, the sniper goes China, you play left side of point. If the sniper is on Cliff and you're playing blue, you play right side of point. If the sniper is flank when you're playing blue, you play left side of point. It's just the opposite for red. So if I'm playing red, if their sniper is Cliff, you play left side of point. If their sniper is China, you play right side of point. And if their sniper is on flank, you play right side of point. You go wherever that you play. Your combo orients itself wherever the sniper cannot see. A lot of times your med will be trapped in pocket alone. It won't be alone, but a lot of times your med will be trapped where they can't peek, and that's fine because your heavy should be on Cliff most of the time, and your power will probably be close. Only players that'll be playing the alternate is your scout and demo. Your scout and demo will just be playing alternate to wherever their players are watching. So. That's offense with a full deset. If let's say you lost the mid, but it's not a full deset and it's even, you're gonna want to get as aggressive as possible with this. So a lot of times, either a valley push or a cliff push, you go through here. if you can have your soldier go on, or you can do a solo on your scout, you can flash your soldier in, or you can do aggressive with your demo, where as soon as you use your demo, try to take as much ground as possible, because the major flaw of exchanging, if you remember from when you're on defense, is that their Uber would have to be really early, but if you use and your demo jumps in and takes a bunch of ground, that gets rid of the disadvantage you have. So now Uber is going to be ending around the same time, and it's just really good. One thing your demo can do is that he can jump in and play aggressive, and I've gotten drops just in this pocket if I go really fast, so that's one thing your demo can try. But if you guys take ground really fast with your Uber, then they're going to be having to use sooner, which means your Uber will be less worst. So once Uber's fade, and if you do take ground like that, you don't have the rest of your players going, and then you want to choose one side to flood, because you're going to play for post. So you shouldn't have really anyone die during this. Your soldier should be bombing after the Uber. So once Uber's end, you can have your soldier second, and then all of your combo can flood through either side of the point. Again, you play alternate where the sniper is. So if their sniper is on China, then you have your combo flooding through left side after the Uber. If their sniper is on Cliff, then you can have your combo flooding through right side of Uber. The big takeaway is that you just want to flood after an Uber on product if you do take ground, because it's really choky and you can bully them off point. Besides that, that's product pretty self-explanatory. It's just back and forth sacks, having point. Having good spy awareness is really important on this map for all aspects of the combo. Make sure your NG, and your scout do need to be denying the soldiers. Not as much your scout, because your scout might be on flank, but if your scout and NG are available, if you see an NG soldier in the air, you want to be focusing him, because if that soldier doesn't die, then he can do a lot of work, because this map is so choky. Besides that, if you're on defense, you really don't need to die, because you'll have a faster respawn. I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, then ask them. And I think that's it. Have a nice game.